thought it was going to do it automatically. It didn't. Hey, folks. Welcome to Monroevacs 360. Today, we're going to be going over a little hack. Today's Hack Saturday, by the way. All right. And we're going to be covering something pretty cool about it's a rug nozzle. So let's say, for example, you're a canister person, right? You're a canister person. You're a person that likes canister vacuums. You know the old school. They have the Electrolux, that long one. Then you have Filter Queen. You have Rainbow. You have Kenmore, and there's a bunch more. The Bissell have canisters, etc. Right? So and then you have canisters come with the most newer canisters. How's that one? The very first canisters were this straight suction. That's a rug nozzle, right? Opening, kind of a triangle looking thing there. And you have your base, turn on your motor, and you kind of do your best to scrub the carpet. And then they got the rotating brushes. Now you have air-driven rotating brush. That means the suction is what's turning that brush so you can sweep the floor. But it's not too strong, right? So they said, all right, well, let's do this. Let's put a mini motor inside the rug nozzle. So now we have power to turn, really act as if it's an upright vacuum also. Got it? Okay. So that's the way those things are set up. And what happens is if you're someone who is repairing these things, someone brings it into you and they'll say, listen, my rug nozzle is not working. What do I do? Right? Then you say, fantastic, no problem. All right. Let's fill out the information. I'll call you when it's ready. So now you're going to start your check. You'll turn your machine on. You're going to check the little handle switch, right? You're going to check the breaker, make sure that the breaker is, reset. You're going to check the line and all that stuff. And then, so now you have to figure out, is it the motor that at the bottom, the rug motor at the bottom, that's the problem? Or is it the switch that turns it on and off? Is it the hose itself? Okay. All right. Because if the motor turns on, then the electricity should be traveling through the hose, down the wand, to the head, to the motor, and then the motor turns the brush. So everything should work if the motor's... So what's happening in that chain? What cut? What happened, right? And so that's what today's going to be about. But before we get into that, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and all the great things that come along with it. I'm still doing this format right now, and I'm honestly, for the lives, I may continue this format. I'm not sure, but if it's pre-recorded, I got my computer. I just didn't get a chance to set it up yet. I got my little gaming computer. We'll see how that one works. The one I got my son is a lot better than this one. He has lights all over the place, and it's more powerful, I think. But I just need this for the streaming, and I want to make sure that that I don't crash again. My first two ones were laptops, and it just didn't go well, so I figured let me go with a desktop. All right, but now before I get into everything, guys, I want to answer a comment that is coming from our listeners. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Hopefully, we are all here. I'm going to turn on the chat in a second. If you are saying something, everybody say hi. I won't be able to see it, but here we go. The first one. Okay, Mike's Vlogs. That's what it sounds like. Mike's Vlogs. All right, Mike. So Mike sent this about, it was about almost a day ago. Let me see, a Hoover Power. The Hoover, is it the Power Dash? I think so. Oh my gosh, Mike. I'm sorry, man. Yep, it's from the Hoover. All right, Mike said this. I pressed down on the white circle area because of my on and off switch. Became loose inside the housing. It worked. Thanks for the great video. Saved me from taking the whole thing apart. All right, so the Power Dash, right? The Power Dash is a Hoover. It's like a $99 shampooer, and this particular video was about the power switch, because I was experiencing that, and I said, man, listen, I fix these things. If I'm going through it, I know people are going through it. So I put up a video to show what's causing that, okay? And check out that video, all right? On our site, if you have one of these and you have a problem with it, all right? What's going on with my internet now? What happened? No. Come on, show me the rest. What are we doing here, man? All right, forget it. Someone had a problem, right? And I want to answer that one. Are you kidding me? Damn, I tell you. Yeah. All right, let me try one more time. Let me see one more time. Okay, here we go. All right, so now here's the other one. My entire handle pole slides up and down when trying to clean the floor. I'm not sure if a piece is broken. Yeah, definitely. I don't. It's possible. All right, this is for a Bissell Revolution. All right, it's possible. It's possible that a piece is broken. Man, I covered this a couple of months ago. Not maybe 2 months ago. I'm gonna draw. Okay? I'm gonna draw this because I don't have a prop to show you. Okay? Come on, where's my pencil at? Okay, I have a marker here. I don't have a prop to show you, so I'm gonna have to use this, okay? All right, I'm gonna draw my answer. Let's try it. All right, let's try it. Let's see if I got this. All right, these are my art stuff, right? Okay, let me find a clean page that I don't need. All right, I'm gonna draw this one. I'm gonna draw my answer. Let's see if this works. Okay, let me see. There we go, fantastic. All right, so your handle, right? Your Bissell Revolution handle, I think, if my memory serves me right, the handle is something like this, right? And then you have the long handle. So that means you have this here, you have this here, you have this here, you have your trigger. Your trigger is somewhere in here like this, right? See that? And then the handle comes like that. Does that make sense? Let me see. You see that? All right, good. Then the handle goes down. Let me see. There's probably something right here. The handle goes down, okay? And then it slides into the unit. So let's say the unit is right here. Okay, this is the unit, right? There's a box, a black thing like this. Okay? This thing has a circle right here that when you slide this in, now the handle is going to have something that looks like this. The handle probably like rigid a little bit like that. Okay, something like that. The base of the handle. And then it's going to have a hole like that. Okay? So when you slide it in, this clip should snap in and hold this in place. See what I'm saying? And either you're missing this or this is broken. Okay? All right? So that's my answer. So this might be broken or this is missing. And that's my answer. Okay? Is it backwards? Was it backwards? Was it backwards? Oh my God. This is my, I got work to do over here. All right, guys. All right, so let's move on. Hopefully I did a good job. Hey, Larry's in. Larry's in the house. Let me turn over to chats, man, because I want to say what's up to Larry. Guys, Larry is starting a channel. He's going to be repairing vacuums like I'm doing here. And I would love it, man. Larry, when you go live for the first time, let me know, bro. I would love to tune into your stuff, okay? And get your perspective on things, all right? Okay, let me pop up this chat so I can see better. Give me a second, guys. Man, next week I'm going to be in such a better position, all right? Okay, and Tehran, Pandita. Man, wait, Tehran, where you from, man? Tehran Pandita. When I saw Tehran, I thought, or Taran. I thought about Taurus. I'm a Taurus, so that came to me. All right, here we go, guys. Let me show you what I'm doing. Tune in, focus in, and let's see if we can get some of this, all right? So, okay, let me move this out of the way. Ultimately, that's what I want to show you, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you have a canister nozzle, all right? And for some reason, there's no power. Nothing is happening in the head. Some of them have a little breaker switch somewhere around here that you could just press down and that will reset everything, all right? And you know what? Gosh, this glass is getting in my way. Okay, so that's normally what would happen, right? Now, here, especially for rainbows, okay? You want, you know, it might be here, but I'm hearing it. Unless there's something loose or got disconnected, this you shouldn't have a problem if you can hear, if you can hear that clicking sound happening. That switch should be working. It should be a working switch, but you never know, right? And then, so you have your motor, you have your electrical wire going through here. You have this, okay, which is another electrical wire, right? All right, so that means the energy goes here, goes through the switch, coming down here, coming down the back, down the back, over to here, going through, and then it should hit your motor. Now, if you don't have any power, what do? Like, what's the fastest way to diagnose this thing, okay? Honestly, most people, you would have to take this whole thing apart, okay? And maybe get your multimeter or something like that and try to go from there. This is a shortcut, okay? It's a shortcut for those who want to try it, all right? If you have a canister and you're about to throw it away and maybe, or you know, you found one at Goodwill or something, you can do what I did to this canister, which gives me a very quick diagnostic tool for any rug nozzle. Let me show you what I did. And we're gonna figure out if this works too, okay? All right? And as a backup, oh, that's my stick ball. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you what that was all about. As a backup, I have another one just kind of here. I want to, you know, just for me to double check to see if I'm either. Oh, wow. Ew, what was this? Oh my gosh. Okay, there's some gooey stuff on this. I think. Oh my god. You know what? I remember last time I had my Oh my god, I had some epoxy in a bucket. The you know, it comes in A and B, and it broke. It must have, man, shoot. All right. Anyway, next up, come on, let's go. Let's keep moving, guys. If it was pre-recorded, it would say cut. It's pre-recorded. All right, here we go. Let's move this on, man. Sorry about that. I got distracted a second here. And my stick ball. I'll talk about the stick ball at the end. All right, so let me show you what I did to diagnose this, because you know you're gonna have to go through a whole process all the time to figure out if it's the problem is the motor signal, is the problem the handle, is the problem the hose, is the problem the wand, is the problem the nozzle. This pack is gonna go right to the source. We're gonna test the nozzle real quick, and then we'll know whether or not the nozzle motor is working, and we can move our way back from there. All right. So watch this. All right. Let me see, Larry. Hey, look at that. Ah, I am, Larry. I am an artist, man. I do, Larry. I do portraits for people. Okay. I tutor every other week on Sundays. Drawing. Larry, let me show you one of my pieces here. Okay, give me a second. I'm not going, guys. I'm not going to distract everybody. I just want to give Larry one of my pieces that I did. All right. I think I've shown this before. Okay. Give me a second, buddy. Give me a second. All right, Larry. I got two. I have more, but these are the ones that's closest to me. These are the ones that's closest to me, okay? But these take time, man. These are slow burns. This is not quick sketch. Quick sketching is something else. Take a look at this one here. This is color pencil, okay? I think I just used 3 colors here, like a kind of a greenish aqua color, more like a, it's not purple, more like a violet or turquoise type of color, and then the black and you know, for this one, all right. And then this is pencil, and this is pencil. This is Derek Jeter. Okay, back in the day when he had hair and all that stuff, right? So this is a pencil. I got as far as making sure I got the stubs. See that? Is that cool? All right. So Larry, yes, I do that, and I do artwork, and then I'll ship it out to somebody who'll place an order and stuff like that. All right. You know, hey, I'm still promoting. I'm not just getting distracted. I'm still promoting. All right. So here we go. This is what I did. Okay. I took a canister that I already had, right? Now, if you know what happens is you have the main power coming from the wall. It hits it. There's normally a circuit board, a PC board on the unit, and then it converts that electricity down. It kind of tapers it down, you know, lower the voltage and everything, and then it travels down to the nozzle. So most nozzle motors are going to work with the same. Really, I will say about all of them, except for like maybe the little mini battery controlled type of rug nozzle motors, okay? But if it's a plug-in, they're all running about the same, okay? So what I did is I took the wiring, okay? Let me take all this apart because I was having some fun with this. I took the wiring that normally would run to the section that the hose is connected to, which is right here. The hose would plug into right here, okay? Now, some of them, the hose plugs in up here. They have like a little plug, like, you know, 2 dots up here. Whatever that wire is that runs there, that's the wiring that you need. And you put some alligator clip on them like this. So you can now, you have your reduced power that can go straight to the rug nozzle that you're testing. Because I wasn't using this anymore, right? And I'm like, wait a second, right? I can use the same machine to see if another rug nozzle has power, because this gives power to the rug nozzle, okay? So that's what I did. I just took it apart like that, and it worked like a charm, okay? Worked like a charm. So if you're a person that fixes vacuums, Larry, you fix vacuum, you're gonna be, you know, doing stuff like that. This is a something you can do, okay, to give it a shot. All right. So let's test this nozzle and see how it works. Okay, let's test it. All right. So what we're gonna do? How's it? Let me test the one that I have. Oh, let me test this little one here. Alrighty. Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna plug this in. Now you definitely have to keep these guys apart. You can't have. You have this. This is. You know what? You don't want these guys touching. All right. So it's do this at your own risk deal. You don't want these guys touching. So whatever mechanism you create to make this work, just make it as safe as you can possibly make it if you want to try it. Okay? Because this you know what this was born from? I birthed this from this idea. Okay? When I wanted to test motors, right? What I did is I got a regular vacuum cord. Okay, I wanted to see if the motor had power. Well, the motor can receive power. And I took a regular vacuum cord, all right? And on one end, I put these alligator clips, okay? And then the other end is the regular plug-in. But in between that, I put this switch. This way I can turn it off and on. Off, on. See that? So what I would do is I would plug it in. I have my motor on a clamp of sorts, and I want to test the motor to see if it's working. Is it a good motor? okay? And then, you know, you could do stuff like this, or you can do the alligator clips like I have for the other one, and just hook it up to your motor, you know, the white and the black. Make sure you know which position is off, okay? So you can color it or something. So let's say, for my sake, let's say this was off. See what I'm saying? Okay? And, or on. You know, you just need to know what your colors mean. Or, forget color. Just go on. Does it say no? It probably says no in your thing, but it's on, right? So then I would, if this is on, then I just make sure that it's like it's off when I do my thing. I hook up this to my motor that's fastened down. Okay, plug it in, and voila, I can test my motor just like that. So what I did is I said, wait a second, let me use the same theory, okay, and I can use the same wiring, the same cord that would run to this same cord here would run to the nozzle, and now I'm gonna use a nozzle reduced power electricity to test my hose. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plug this baby in. Again, remember, I'm gonna keep these guys apart. So what you can do, you can get like a little tape, because what you don't want is when it rests, they kind of rest. You may have looked around to plug it in, and they rest, and they touch each other. Now, when the machine is off, it doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna happen. But the moment this power turns on, both of these are energized, okay? And you want to make sure that they go where they're supposed to go. Okay, so yours could be smaller. It could be those little rods, you know, skinny rods, because you want to test 2 little spots. Or you can do the alligator clips like I have here, and it could work. All right. So so I'm gonna test this motor here. Now this is a tight spot that I have. This is a very tight spot. It's tricky because look at it. Look how tight the spot is. See that? So what I would do is I would probably clip one, and the other one I'm just gonna touch it to see. I want to see if I can, if it has life. If the motor has life, okay? So it's a risky thing, and so do it at your own risk. Be very careful if you're a DIY person, or I mean, there are other ways you can probably do it. Just be creative. If you're gonna go this far, you have to be a creative person. Take your time and think it through, okay? That's all. All right. So let me plug this guy in. All right. Let me plug in my little vacuum here. Okay, plug in my little vac. All right. Hopefully it's not on yet. Hold on, I didn't turn it on, right? By accident. Okay, so it's not on, all right? I'm keeping these guys apart, okay? And then let me give you some height. I need some height for what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna get a little. Don't worry, guys. Next week I'm gonna have my. Yeah, I may have to stop using this because the overhead cams really do help, you know. And yeah, if I was able to switch to overhead, you know, I wouldn't have to do this. Let me go get this little thing. That's gonna give me a little height for what I'm about to do. Maybe I can turn the camera down some too also. Let's see, can I? Not much, yeah. There's not much I can do. Okay, here we go, guys. So, this is the nozzle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to clip one of these, okay? So I have one clip, okay? And then let me turn it the other way. I don't want that facing me, okay? So I have one of them clipped, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap the other one, okay? So I'm gonna turn it on. Now, if I blow up, just give me, I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do. You don't have my emergency contacts. All right, so I'm gonna turn it on. This is running. Then I'm just gonna touch it. All right. So this has life. Okay. Let me see if I can turn it around. so you can see the brush spinning. Let's do it like that. All right, let's do it again. Now watch the brush, but I'm turning it on. I'm gonna do it again. All right. Okay, so that was my hack. Okay, that's today's hack. All right. So if you're fixing vacuums for a living, okay, when doing like for oh yeah, no, I'm learning as I go, bro. some guys hire people to coño. Some guys hire people to teach them how to do all those things. You know, uh, you know, yeah, no, maybe I should, right? This is just how I'm doing it. It's yeah, yeah. So I'm interested in getting better. I'm interested in all that stuff, and you just have to put yourself in a space to focus on that and do that. I am focused on like 15 things at one time, and unfortunately, this is a jealous business. This endeavor here is jealous, but so is every other business that you're involved in. But if you don't have nothing else you're doing, okay, when I say jealous, it means that if you don't give it all your time and focus and attention and love and all that stuff, it's gonna give you the hand. You know what I mean? It's gonna give you the hand, man. All right. Every business you're in, okay, your career, your relationship, everybody wants your full attention. All right. And if you don't give your business or your endeavor your full attention, I don't know how those guys have two families, you know, the two family people that all of a sudden, like years later, they found out, oh my gosh, he had a whole nother family. You know, I don't know how you do that. Because I don't know how you're gonna give your attention to all these people, man. I mean, come on, man. That's wild, right? But you have two jobs, you have two careers. I really admire those people that can have multiple businesses that they're running, because you then have to hire someone who will commit themselves to that business, who's gonna run it. And then the same thing. And now what you're doing, you still have to be committed to maybe the fewer amount of things. Okay. So that's why there's so many chains going up. So you can focus on this one thing that requires your full attention. Their job is to focus at one thing that's going to require their full attention, and it goes on and on. But if you're the one that's trying to do everything, dude, somebody's going to be pissed off. One of these businesses is going to be like, listen, I'm tired of you. Okay, I'm moving on. So that's how I see it, all right? You know what I mean? So sales is like that. All right, anyway, let's find out what's happening with this other rainbow here, because this came in and the nozzle is not working. So we're going to use this technique that I just showed you, and we're going to test it and see if the problem is the nozzle. And if it's not, then we have to move our way up into the handle, into the motor, and stuff like that. All right, so let's give it a shot. All right, move this out the way. Okay, here's the other one we have, right? So let's just take it out of the, let's take it out of the, let's take it out of here. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we have pretty much the same setup, all right? And let me turn it around so you can see it also. Okay, it's right here, okay? And then, oh, one last thing, Larry. Let me interpret your sentence another way, just in case I was missing it, because I may have missed it. The other thing, based on what you said here, you should, if you're working on a vacuum that you want to show people how to fix it, you should know where you want to go before you get on, right? But the way I've kind of designed my channel is that I'm discovering it on the fly because uh, consider it this way. I see a lot of guys do things online that they look like pros, man. And I'm like, damn, that guy must have trained for that one, you know? So it affects your self-esteem or your confidence about your ability to perform this thing, right? Because if they, it's like, you know, and if you're not mechanically inclined, right? At least that's how you see yourself, not you, Larry, but I'm saying in general. Then a person may not think that they're as good as the person, so they may not even attempt it because, you know, look how smooth he did it, right? So when I do my stuff, I mess up a lot while I'm doing it because a lot of people at home mess up a lot. Okay, and it's like, listen, even if you mess up, right, we can recover. Because there may be an error that they make that they've never seen anyone make that error, and then it's like, what do I do now? Oh my God, what did I messed up, right? I dropped the thing, and it's like, well, if they saw me make an error, they may say, look, shit, at least if I do that, I can do what he just did. You get what I'm saying? All right, so that's the road I decide to go down. Okay, now whether it's going to turn out to be successful or not, that's you know, that's going to be on me. But if you're a person that likes very ordered things, then that's going to be your road, and because you're going to be natural on that road. Okay, a lot of artists, people are not organized at all, right? They get the thought like, oh man, I gotta try this. Oh, let's try this. Let's try that. And they may start a project and stop and come back to it, and they still have it running in the back of their brain somewhere, but they got an idea for another project and they're starting in there. And with that kind of attitude, you leave things lying around the place because you're starting and stopping and starting, and then you're gonna come back and you're gonna wrap it up. A lot of people think like that, and as a result, I'm naturally in that arena. So I naturally thrive in an area where I may have a mishap, and I'm going to come up with a way to fix my mishap. And you can see, and if you're an ordered person, you may not thrive in a chaotic thing. You may have to rehearse your stuff before you come on and show people how to do it. Okay, that was long, man, but I hope I gave the right information. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's test this one. Okay. So I'm gonna clamp the first thing, okay, and clamp it in a way where make sure that it's not touching the other prawn, and then I'm gonna turn my machine on, and then I'm gonna hit it, and then I'm gonna see if I get power. Okay, so let me move it a little bit away from my wiring because I don't wanna mess myself up here. Okay, hold on. Let me turn it this way. Let me turn it this way because I can control it better like this. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna keep them separate, and all right, here we go. Turn it on. Oh, okay, all right. So look what just happened. So it's receiving electricity because it went. It's trying, but something's stopping it. Okay, something is stopping. So let's go in and find out what's going on. Let's open it up, okay? Because it's something seized up in here, okay? It could be the brush. It could be the motor. It could be something got lodged. Something is like lodging it, and the motor can't spin. So let's find out what's going on. So let me unplug this bad boy, okay? I hope that that was good. That's right, Larry. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever. Listen, man. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. You know what? You know what happened when you realized that reality TV wasn't really reality TV, right? The podcast era took off better because people like, man, you guys are fake, man. You guys are, you know, like the Survivor people, you know, partly. You know, gritty and hard, and partly behind the scenes. They're caterers, and they got lunch, and they can get some water and all that stuff. So, but a lot of the newer stuff, the people that's online, that you know, they're in their garage and they're all over the place. A lot of those guys, whatever happens on the scene happens on the scene, and that's their brand. And others, because they're focused and they're let's say delivering news, you know, they're giving you news podcasts. Um, they just it flows, right? They everything has to be ordered. They have transition scenes. They're gonna have scenes they're gonna share with you and all this other stuff. So it all depends on how what works for you, all right? And then you have to make it work, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to make this path I decided to go down work, okay? That's all. You know what I was told? I was told this in sales, and was it Brian Tracy, man? It may have been Brian Tracy, but the quote was, "You can't make all the right decisions. You can't make. You're not gonna. No human is gonna always make the right decisions, but you can make your decision right." You know what I mean? You can make now that I made this decision, how do I, let's make it work. Okay? Right? Let's make it work now, right? So that's that's my attitude about this stuff. I'm not always going to make the right decision, but I can make it right. Okay? Let's make it work. Come on, all right? Damn, what you bought? You got what? You got what, pizza? Oh my gosh, man. All right, well, okay, let's do this. Let's use what we got and let's make it work. And let's chop, 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 chop. And all of a sudden you got hors d'oeuvres, It's not pizza anymore. You made it into hors d'oeuvres, a little finger food. Oh my gosh, you made it work. All right, we're going to open this up. All right. So these rainbows here that have this setup here, the first thing you're going to do is turn this knob to unlock this latch that's holding this in. Okay, this is like a lock, like this. Okay, so you get a flathead and you unlock it. Okay, now it's already unlocked. Look at that. Okay, look, let me show you. It's already unlocked. So it says lock and unlock, and this is already on the unlock side. And if I turn it, see this here. If I turn it this way, it latches in, it locks in. That means this shouldn't just pop off, So now I'm gonna unlock it. All right, come on now. Here we go. Now, I should be able to squeeze these two tabs here and pull off the bottom. All right? All right, next up. Now, next up, open this guy up. Let's see if we have any, crud in here and anything else, right? Okay. And then you also have over here. So let's pull this guy out of here. Okay. All right. And you know what? You can do it. You can do it two ways. You can just get something to pry it, or you can take your belt off and use the belt to pull it up. Okay. So let's do this. Where's my computer? What happened to my Come on, computer. Stop messing around with me. Thank you. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. My computer's acting like a banka. All right, here we go. All right, I'm just taking this belt off real quick. All right, and let me see if I can just pull this out. Okay, I can pull it out. Now, remember that is seized up. Okay? If you have a vacuum, guys, that your belt keep breaking, okay? What you do is you check your brush. Go like this. And if your brush don't spin freely, this brush is messed up. And in this case, so far, this brush is messed up. This brush is not turning. That means that this motor can't turn. So I'm gonna test the motor again and see if it turns. And then all I have to do maybe is just replace this brush. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So now that we found a problem, we don't have to really go any further yet. Let's just let's test where we're at. So let me bring the guy back up here again. My little shortcut tester. Okay. My shortcut tester is back. All right. Now you can make this as professional as you want. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna show. You know, there's an invention I really like. I forgot. Damn it. What is the name, man? There's a name for it. It's a lug nut remover. You normally see them on let's say they're making trucks, okay, and they have to install the wheels for the trucks, or some kind of service station for big rigs, and it has 5. Now for us now at home, you know, we get that one. Or if the guy at the garage, at the mechanic, he gets the power drill, the air drill, and it go, you know, you see those guys at NASCAR. But imagine you have one that could go right onto the whole thing, pull it right off. And I'm like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Damn, that's great. That's positive, man. You know, but I'm sure somebody thought about it before and it had a very rudimentary way to do it, you know? Whereas, you know, you're like, man, how about we can unlock all of them at the same time, right? And then maybe they were doing something like this. And all the lug nuts came off at the same time. And said, wow, how that's time saver. Okay? So this is a very, you know, MacGyver way to do it, but I'm pretty sure if, you know, I put my mind properly on it, I can make it look very, you know, smooth. I can take the whole body apart, maybe put this motor into a box container of sorts that look a little different. You know, connect the switch on the side. You know what I mean? You can make it into something that's like, this is my nozzle tester. And I get this tiny little box, and then with the motor in it and everything else, and then that can be my tester instead of it looking like this, you know, with the stuff sticking out the back, right? So I don't know. I might just do that, man. Now that I mention it, I might just do that. I might just do that. Yeah. I might just do that. Yeah, I might just do that. All right. Okay, here we go. So, what I'm looking for, guys, I just want to see if this is the motor. The motor sits between here and here on the inside of this thing. And I'm going to turn it on. I want to see if the motor turns, okay? And because the problem could be further in. It could be the motor also. So, we're going to find out right now. All right? Okay. So these guys, now, if you're afraid of this thing touching the other prawn, like, cause you don't want this prawn touching the other one also while you're testing. So you can put something in the middle. You know, you could put something like, you know, you could put a plastic or tape, like where's my electrical tape? Where's my electrical tape? All right. You know what I mean. I just want to demonstrate it properly. But I know you know what I mean. 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 All right. Forget it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this belt. I hope it's not a new belt. No, it's a new belt. Damn, I don't want to break a new belt. That's profit, bro. That's profit, man. I sell these things, okay? Okay, so. Wait. Yeah, I got this. I'll use some tape. I'll use some tape, all right? But electrical tape is better. But I just want to give you an idea of what I'm saying. A visual of what I'm saying, okay? So, here. So, you got the tape, and you can just roll it up like this. Roll, okay? Roll like that, all right? So it becomes like this little insert. And you can just get this, again, like I said, you get electrical tape and you can stick it right in the middle of the two prongs, okay? So when you do clip one on, okay? At least you know, damn, I know you can't properly see it yet, but at least you know the other one is resting on the on the other prod, okay? And also, I do this on the outside. This little handle part. I don't want the handle part touching nothing either, okay? So, all right, so let's do this, all right? Let's do it, and let's test it and see if this motor is fixed now. Well, maybe it was never, the motor was never the problem. The problem was the seized brush, all right? I'm gonna turn it on, and then I'm gonna test it, okay? You ready? Power. Motor's good. So, you can still hear it. The motor's good. The motor's good, okay? Coño! Let me unplug it. I leaned on it, I didn't realize it. The motor's good, guys. So, guess what the problem is? The problem is the brush, okay? Problem is the brush. And so in other words, if I'm correct, I should be able to take the brush out of this one, put it in this one, and prove my theory 100%. Okay? So let's try that. Okay? If I'm correct, if I'm correct that it was the brush, I have my evidence, but I'm talking for the audience here. I should, because we already test this. We already know this work, right? Good. So I should be able to install this. Let me get this belt off. Let me pull it out. I'm gonna move this away. And then we're gonna bring the one that we were testing just now here. And I should be able to install this, and let's put the belt on first, like on the shaft first, and then we're gonna use a little strength to push it forward, okay? And then just kind of adjust it so it sits there lovely. There you go, okay? Close this up, okay? All right, where'd I put the, okay, put this here, okay? All right, so now I should be able to test this, and we should be able to see this spin, okay? All right, so let's put this back up here. My little MacGyver tester. You guys saw MacGyver as a kid in the 80s? I thought MacGyver was the coolest, man. I thought MacGyver was the coolest up to this day. That's how I approach. That's how I approach my repairs. Oh man, I do it like MacGyver, man. Oh my gosh, these guys don't get it. You know, you have to learn. That's why I think it's good that people, even if it's just for sport, man, even if you do it just for, you know, like I saw a DIY today I want to try, right? I don't need to, but it's about a watering, it's a watering jug. So it says, all right, so you have an old laundry jug, right? It says just poke holes, or you could drill holes, or you can use a heated needle or whatever in the top. Don't throw it away. Wash it out, rinse it out. You know what I mean? Do all that stuff. And then poke a hole in the handle area where you can go like this, okay? And you fill it with water, okay, if you can imagine it, okay? And then it'll be like you have like a power, like a, you know, it'll come out with stream, and you can stop it, and you can let it go, and it'll come out again. You can stop it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. Damn, you know. But doing stuff like that, man, I think is it does something for you. You know, I think it does something for your creativity, and creativity is important in everybody's life. I think so. Problem solving ability. Okay. All right. So here you go, guys. Let's move on. Let's try this. I put the little tag in here, my little spacer, and again, you use electrical tape is better. So I have my little spacer, right? So I want to make sure I don't touch the other side. All right. Then we want to see if this brush is going to turn on us, right? Okay. So let's see. Turn it on. You see that? Let's do it again. Hold on, let me pull it back so you can see. Keep a look. That's it. Okay. Problem solved. Okay. And the way I was easily diagnosed this problem. Now think about what I would have to do if I didn't use this tool here, this little setup I made. Okay. You would have to find a way to see, because remember, there's a whole process to electricity going down to the nozzle, right? You have your connector here at the beginning of the hose that receives electricity from the motor. So you're not sure if the motor is given the right, if the wire got severed inside the motor or not, right? You don't know. All right. And then you have the wiring inside the hose itself. Sometimes this stuff cuts. And so you don't know if that's what it is. And then you have the actual switch, the on and off, that releases the electricity to go down. You don't know, right? Sometimes the wands have an electrical connector, but in this case, the electrical connector is, instead of running it in the wand, what they did is they run it on the outside. So they set it up like this. You see? And then you can go down, and then you have your motor on top of that. So I just figured, let's go to the source, okay, and work our way backwards. Because if this didn't have any power, right? If I did that and it didn't have any power, my next thing, I would have to go in and I would do it directly on the motor. Okay, I would put those two things. I would connect it directly to the brush motor. Now, if the brush motor runs, but I can't get the power through here, then this guy is the problem. You see that? Okay, then this guy's the problem. Okay, and now let's say he runs, right? I hook this up like I did. I test and it turns on. I'm like, man, well, this is not the problem. This is not the problem. I would then move up to say, well, let me see if this guy's the problem. Okay, then I would have to go in here and test this and move up and do it like that. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the show. That's pretty much the show. All right, that's pretty much the show. It's a pattern of thinking that will help you solve problems. All right, you go back. If everything that you could think about it. Let's go back to the beginning of what's starting this thing. Let's go back to the base. Let's go back to the beginning, right? The what we call those people, the psychologists or psychiatrists, and they start talking about your childhood, right? It's just like, all right, let's go back to the beginning. Tell me about your childhood, because now we gotta find what's the root cause of this thing, man. So you use the same attitude about solving problems like this. Okay, what is this part supposed to be doing? Okay, great. So then, where's it getting this thing from? Here. Okay, great. And then what happens before this? Well, it's just the on and off switch. Okay, great. All right. Now, does the on and off switch work? Yes, it works because it turns on the main motor. Oh, okay. So we don't have to worry about the on and off switch. That's the base. You see what I'm saying? That's the very big, that's the to the beginning, right? Or let's say it was the motor. I'm looking for suction. Okay, great. We don't have any suction. All right. Well, let's test. Let's check the motor, right? Plug it in, turn it on, take off the dustbin, and let's test the motor and see if the motor is giving us suction. And if you test it and it's like, damn, nothing, then you know that something inside that motor compartment is the problem. Okay? And that's the process. All right, guys? So anything you can do to facilitate that, you want to make that process simple. And all I did was with this hack was make it easy and simple for me to test a nozzle head, so I don't have to go through 50 steps to get to the answer. Let me find out right away. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope it wasn't just blase. We didn't have a whole ton of people tune in today, but man, I appreciate it. If you guys can give it a like, give it a thumbs up, I appreciate it. Okay. Uh, I know, right? I'm working on it, live, man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. You know what? I'm seriously considering. I'm seriously considering. One, I think I want to have 3 different channels. Number one, for different things I'm interested in. But I am seriously considering finding a way to devote more time to this. Uh, yeah, I'm really, because yeah, again, like I said, it's jealous, right? And it don't want to get, just an hour of your time. It want all of your time, and that means thinking about it, planning it, preparing for it, thinking about how the algorithms work. I mean, that takes time to do all of that. Understanding the thumbnails and the simplicity and the complexities, whatever the analytics. You got to go through stuff. And then you have to be on all these platforms and try to promote yourself and everywhere else. And if you don't have time for all of that, and maybe all you have time to do is just shoot videos like I'm doing right now, 3 times a week, you're not really gonna get the most out of it. And I'm aware of that. You got me? I'm aware of that, and I'm not I'm not under any, I'm not I don't have any false beliefs about it. Okay? I get it. Trust me, I know when it comes to performance, and I know I'm not blaming anybody for this stuff. So if eventually I will put all my time into it. Okay? Yes, but I work. I have my shop. Have my I'm doing all these little things. Those are not excuses. Those are just, and my shop is doing its job, is doing well, and I also work, and that's doing its thing. And eventually I'm gonna find a way to sever ties somewhere and zero in, because I really do want to do this. I have a passion for teaching, and I may be teaching my art online also. I like debates. I like things